Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. We are back again, and today we're talking about the Republic of Kosovo, not really recognized by a majority of the world, but the United States and the West, they recognize Kosovo as separate from Serbia, which it formerly used to be a province of Serbia. And although the existence of Kosovo is very controversial, I'll tell you, the United States, majority of the free world says Kosovo should be free. A lot of the East, the Russian world, the Russian allies in Serbia, they say it should be a part of Serbia. But a little something to know about Kosovo is a very diverse country. It is only part of three countries in Europe that are Muslim. And that is right. Kosovo is a Muslim country influenced by Albania. It is a country mixed of Albanians and Kosovars, Serbs, and of course Macedonians, North Macedonians, Greeks. It is a very diverse country, but it is Muslim. It is a Muslim country that supports the state of Israel. It does not associate itself with the Arab world. Instead, it associates itself with its free Balkan neighbors like Bosnia and Herzegovina, also a Muslim nation, and Albania, another Muslim country in Europe. They're mainly the three buddies together, although Bosnia does not recognize Kosovo as its own country. So it is controversial over Kosovo, because then again, they get along, but then again, is Kosovo really fit to be its own country? It is a diverse country compared to Serbia, which is majoritively Orthodox Christian. Kosovo would be 90% diverse than the majority of the Serbian country. And a lot of people say, that by itself should mean that Kosovo should be its own country or join Albania, since they're so similar. But ultimately, what we're seeing here is Kosovo, it more and more seems to be more recognized. It is more recognized than the state of Palestine itself. Let's see, countries that recognize Kosovo. And you'll see right here, international recognition. Not every country recognizes. This is as of February. You'll see the countries in green. Yeah, even Serbia. Most of the world doesn't recognize Kosovo, but hey, most of the world doesn't recognize Palestine. You'll see a lot of the Muslim world recognize, like Saudi Arabia. That's mainly because of Kosovo and its religion, its ethnicity, and its overall culture, which makes it separate from Serbia. A lot of countries say, hey, I don't think I can recognize Kosovo, but I don't think I want to recognize it as a part of Serbia either, because it's just so different. So Kosovo is really, who should it go to? Should it go to Serbia? Should it be independent? Or should it go to Albania? So obviously, this is the countries in red, I want to believe, are the countries that recognized Kosovo and were later reported to have withdrawn the recognition. So obviously there are a couple. But I just wanted to bring up Kosovo because it's a country that's very interesting. It's the first country we're talking about that not every country in the world recognizes, but it's on top of it. Second place is Palestine, but it's the most, well, then it's the Sahara, Western Sahara. But we are specifically talking about Kosovo because, of course, in the United States, they recognize that country as sovereign from, that's from our last video. We're not talking about Ecuador. They recognize Kosovo as sovereign from the Republic of Serbia, in which they have kind of had strained relations with Serbia, but it's actually getting really better as we further advance further away from that Yugoslav period, ugly period in history. But you'll see here the election results are not surprising. In Kosovo, it is very progressive. It's a very left-leaning state, and this makes sense. Kosovo, after all, is a province of diverse minorities in a country in Serbia, which had been, in some words, using violence to oppress them. Obviously, the country tried to break away from Serbia in the much larger Kosovo war, in which the United States tried to support the Kosovar rebels or the Kosovo Liberation Army. You'll see it's also Albanian in behalf of NATO against the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, otherwise known as Serbia Montenegro. This obviously helped furthermore strain the relations between the U.S. and Serbia under the presidency of Bill Clinton. Obviously, Yugoslavia got to keep Kosovo until 2008, which it was no longer known as Yugoslavia. Instead, it was known as Serbia, because Montenegro also broke away. So recognized as independent by 104 out of 193 member states of the United Nations. It is claimed by Serbia as the autonomous province of Kosovo and Metohija. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's also that also. Its official languages, Albanian and Serbian, very diverse country, as I've made it clear. 93% Muslim. This is what I'm telling you. Compared to the majority of the country of Serbia being Christian. So obviously the country rebelled, and obviously going through persecution, going through having war crimes being committed against the Serbian government. The country is going to be very progressive, and it is. You'll see it isn't over 50%, but 40.83% decided to elect to give the LVV, which is the majority party, its flag is the flag of Albania. Talk about that, guys. They just love Albania so much that they hoisted the flag of Albania. But someday, maybe, if they love Albania so much, hey, you guys can join Albania. I mean, you might have to fight a war with Serbia, and hopefully we don't, but in order for that to happen. But this party is very left-leaning. Left-wing populism, social democracy, direct democracy, Albanian nationalism, pro-Europeanism. Center-left, the left-wing party of European socialists, also observing the Socialist International, and I'm saying it's observing because it's not necessarily a committed country yet. I don't think it is a part of the United Nations. Is it a part of the United Nations? Oh no, it's not. This isn't a page. Kosovo, United Nations. Okay, yes. I don't think it is a part of the United Nations. Only recognized countries. But looking here, you'll see 40%. This is the current prime minister. His name is Albin Kurti. He is a Kosovar Albanian politician who is the current prime minister. He has claimed victory yesterday, 2 days ago, for his party, after he defeated a lot of other parties, like including the PDK, and that is the Democratic Party of Kosovo, which is more right-wing, if you will. It supports a union between Kosovo and Albania, social conservatism, national conservatism, and economic liberalism. You'll also have the Democratic League of Kosovo, and that is also a center-right party. There's also Alliance for the Future of Kosovo, a very right-wing political party that has also made an alliance with Social Democratic Initiative in this election here. That's a center-left, interestingly enough. The candidate, Ramush Harajaj, made alliance with both of those. So these are the minority list, which have 20 seats. The seats are still being figured out, but obviously the majority party in the very left-leaning country of Kosovo, they have the LVV. They've took the lead in, let's see, all of them. what we are seeing here. Literally all of the polls. We are unsure about the seats that the LVV has actually picked up, or any of the seats that any of the parties have picked up. Obviously, there are 120 seats in the assembly in Kosovo. There are 61 seats needed for an absolute majority. Now, obviously, it says the results. I think we can learn a little bit. No party won a majority in the Assembly of Kosovo, with the Albin Kurtis. This is the foreign language here. It's called the Veteve Voce, whatever it's called, the VV or the LVV party winning around 40% of the vote. Turnout was estimated at 40.59%. The release of official results was delayed by a failure in the election commission's website that was attributed to an increase in user traffic. So obviously we got 340,000 votes, 40.86%, 183,000 votes for the official Conservative Party, the Democratic Party of Kosovo, there. But obviously, no surprise, as in 2021, LVV won a bigger victory, and after all, I think they've been losing seats. You'll see they have 58 seats, so LVV isn't actually picking up seats. They never had a majority because they are being split ticketed by different coalitions. But I think creating like a coalition of left-wing political parties and right-wing political parties, there's no doubt about it that the left would hold the majority of seats in the assembly. Albanian lists, these are the Albanian seats and the minority parties right there. You'll see LVV won again, but it was much closer with the LDK, which is a center-right, the center-right political party. Very close result in 2019, and then it's getting more conservative. You'll see the PAN coalition, which is I'm not sure if is it. Okay, the founder was the Democratic Party of Kosovo, so I would say it's more right-leaning. But you get what I'm saying. It's center. Usually the countries in Europe, it's left-leaning country, but they also elect right-wing prime ministers. But what we're seeing right now is Kosovo, definitely a left-leaning country. It's fueled by socialism to a point, certain degree, anti-resistance. They accuse of Serbia as fascist or fascist-like behavior. And obviously Albania, which is a similar sort of country that's influenced by socialism. Let's go ahead. Prime Minister of Albania, the Socialist Party of Albania, I want to believe. That's the country, you'll see here, Socialist. These prime ministers, they had a Democrat, and the Democratic Party of Albania is more right-wing, more conservative, but ultimately their leadership is dominated by the socialists, and that's obviously Republic of Albania going onward. And you could say, oh, it's because they used to be communists. Well, Hungary used to be communist, and now it's really right-wing. It really does depend on the weather and the climate and the atmosphere. I know Albania had a uprising in the late 90s against the Democratic-led government. That was more in the rebellion was more in interests of socialism and socialist favors. So obviously that is the parliamentary election in Kosovo, a big win for LVV, but they were hoping to gain seats. They did not gain any. Although I would say PDK, it does not look like they're going to gain a majority. It's getting more liberal, although we haven't heard any drama in regards to Serbia and Kosovo ever. I mean, we are Ukraine and Gaza, in Taiwan, that's all we hear about. But usually it's these indoor conflicts like Kosovo and Serbia. We never hear about that. But you have Albania and Serbia going at it over the future of Kosovo. But what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.